and I are on an inbound medical arriving at gate 3 at approximately 19:50 hours for up to 7 people injured from severe turbulence, 1 individual reporting broken leg and fractured ribs.
This is the NTSB preliminary report for the accident occurred on July 30th, 2025, involving a Delta Airbus A330 November 422 Delta Zulu. On July 30th, 2025, a Delta Airlines Flight 56 on Airbus A330 encountered severe turbulence while in cruise flight at an altitude of 37,000 feet near Creston, Wyoming. After determining that injuries had occurred, the flight crew diverted to Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport. After landing, 24 of the 246 passengers were evaluated by emergency medical technicians, with 18 transported to local hospitals for additional assessment. Information regarding their conditions is currently unavailable. Of the 10 cabin crew members, 2 sustained serious injuries, 5 sustained minor injuries, and 3 were uninjured. None of the 3 flight crew members were injured. The airplane sustained minor damage to the interior components. According to the flight crew, prior to departure they had discussed the conditions along the route, noting they could expect some weather during the climb and that turbulence was predicted over the mountains east of Salt Lake City. They anticipated deviating after crossing the mountains. The departure was relatively smooth until they reached the Wasatch Mountains, where they experienced some turbulence. As they passed through flight level 300, the ride had smoothed out enough to allow the cabin crew to begin service. At flight level 350, where they remained for about 5 minutes due to traffic, they noted that the turbulence predicted on their electronic flightback weather application was in the green and they had observed only light cirrus clouds. About this time, the captain turned off the seatbelt sign. As the climb continued to flight level 370, they noted some weather buildups and requested a right deviation from air traffic control. Air traffic control suggested a left turn to a heading of 350. The crew assessed that heading would keep them above the cloud deck, upwind of weather buildups, and they had not heard any adverse ride reports. After scanning the horizon on the weather radar, noting that the only returns of concern were 40 to 50 miles away, they accepted the left turn. After completing the turn, the airplane encountered an overspeed event exceeding the maximum operating speed by about 15 to 20 knots, along with an updraft that carried it to flight level 380 over the course of about 20 seconds, during which the autopilot disengaged. Shortly after, the airplane descended rapidly to about 35,500 feet, or flight level 355, and a climb-descent cycle repeated about 3 times over a 2 to 3 minute period, which resulted in the airplane re-entering a cloud layer. The first officer, who was the pilot flying, initiated the all-attitude upset recovery strategy procedure at least once during this time before having recovered and re-engaged the autopilot. A review of preliminary flight data recorder information revealed that the upset lasted approximately 2.5 minutes. During this time, the vertical acceleration oscillated, reaching a maximum positive peak of about 1.75 g and a minimum negative peak of about minus 0.5 g. The pitch angle also oscillated, ranging from a low of about 5 degrees nose down to a high of about 10 degrees nose up. Roll angle variations included a maximum of about 40 degrees left wing down and about 5 degrees right wing down. Computed airspeed fluctuated as well, with peaks ranging from about 230 knots to about 290 knots. A convective significant meteorological information (SIGMET) was in effect for the time and area of the accident. It warned of thunderstorms moving from the southwest at 10 knots with cloud tops above flight level 450. Figure 1 shows the airplane's ground track and radar imagery from the National Weather Service at the time of the accident. After the event, the captain divided cockpit duties. The pilot flying continued to fly and manage ATC communications, while the captain coordinated with the cabin crew and dispatch. The relief first officer, who had been in the crew rest bunk, walked through the cabin to assess injuries and gather information. A passenger who was a physician assistant aided the cabin crew with triage. After the relief first officer returned to the flight deck, the crew planned for a diversion and declared an emergency with ATC.
Minneapolis, Delta 567 is emergency aircraft. We're at 11.5, sending 10, 10,000.
Delta 56, Heavy Minneapolis approach, runway 12 right.
Expecting runway 12 right, proceeding direct SC at this time.
Delta 56, Heavy, can you give me total passenger count and fuel remaining?
Delta 56, passenger count 2,500 souls on board, and fuel remaining is 10 hours.
Delta 56, Heavy, they're wanting to know if the 259 number for total passengers includes crew.
That's 270 souls on board, Delta 56.
You said total number of souls?
It'll be with the crew on board, 270 souls on board.
Thank you.
They elected to divert to Minneapolis to avoid weather and reviewed overweight landing performance data and suitable runways.
We'll be overweight, passed on final. We're looking at approach speed of 153 knots, which is fairly close to normal.
Thank you.
After landing, they noticed that the right main landing gear brakes were hot and notified ground personnel.
Tower Delta 56, I see the fire truck's leaving. Could you have them hang out? We've got one brake that's getting pretty hot.
Delta 56, copy. I'll pass that along.
Thank you. It's the left side, well, actually both sides now. We're getting pretty warm.
They taxied to the gate and were met by airport rescue firefighting, medical, and maintenance personnel.